hopefully I'm here. You'll need to let me know in the comments if you can actually hear me or see me, because as ever, we're having some technical issues. I'm getting green lights, I'm getting red lights. Everything's going a little bit mental microphone wise. Hopefully I've not got the dual echoey thing, but you know, let me know in the comments, and until someone does, I'll just say hello to you all. Carrie Ann Durant, Devon 2001, Rockies is here, Chris is doing the mum taxi thing, Nathan Barnes, can I get a shout out to my wife Sarah Jane? We watch the Fishy Friday lives all the time. Hello Sarah Jane and Nathan. Jennifer's only a ghost, but you know, hopefully you'll get to meet Jennifer later tonight. Chris, how is everyone? Silver Surfer, I told you a lie earlier today. I emailed you and told you I've only just posted your parcel today. Still, well, I shouldn't have shown you that. So yours and Kaylee's parcels are still here. Well, they're actually empty at the moment, but I've still to fill them. Things are taking over my life at the moment. I'm really sorry. I will get them out to you probably tomorrow. Why can't I see anything? My glasses are all steamed up. Where am I? Where's my thing? So I'm a wee bit behind with admin, shall we say. Hopefully any actual orders people have paid for have gone out on time. But I'm a couple of weeks back on prizes, but I will sort it out. That's not any better. I've even lost my proper glasses. But anyway, good evening, Music Stories. Nathaniel Vlogs is back. Okay. Let me see who else we've got. We've got Callum, we've got Rebecca, we've got Mark Brennan. That apology goes to you as well, Mark. Apologies for not getting your prize out. No, Kaylee won, wasn't it? Not you. Same household. Diddly-doo, there she is. So, sorry about that, Kaylee. We're a wee bit behind on prize givings. We'll do another giveaway later on tonight. And I'll try and send all the prizes out at the same time. You can see and hear me well. That's what we want. I've been having some audio problems. I've been having all kinds of computer problems. And for an IT professional, that's just not on, is it? So, what have we got planned for you this evening? First off, getting to the bottom of the chat. I always do that thing where I go off on a tangent. Anybody there that I've not seen for? Lee Kinsey's in the house. Hello. Urban's here. Mark Evans here. David Swain. Oh, we've got a super chat already. It's already going the way we want. Noodle sandwich with a £5 super chat. Have a beer on me, sir. Thank you very much. I'm going to move that over here so as I'm not constantly doing this and this and this. Nathaniel Vlogs live stream. Do you remember me? I think so. I think you're 11 though, so behave. We'll have to boot you out. Andy Morrison, bonjour. Tonight's tipple of choice. It's been a bad week, so I've had to go for the wife beater. I deserve this after the week that we've been having here so far. Right, I think we've got down to the bottom. Right, so what we're going to have for you tonight, we're going to have a quick camera check. So, GoPro, working. Webcam, also working. Oh, we're on a roll. What else can I try? Slideshow. No, that didn't work. Little face. Yay, that worked. So let's have a look. We've got 24 of you lovely people in, and only 25 of you lovely people. The 25th person, you're the loveliest. Only 21 likes though. Come on, we can do a better ratio than that, can't we? Back to big face. Hello from Doncaster, hello from Sheffield. I feel like we do this every week. Showing your age there, calling it wife beater. Yes, obviously that's not the politically correct term, nor the term the good people at Stella Artois would like to use in their advertising campaigns. But I always remember this being Slight tangent. In the Hop House 13 glass, though, keeping it classy. I always remember it being the crazy beer, because it was the strong stuff at the time. So, hello, Big Fish Lad. Yeah, I did think that, because it used to be stronger, didn't it? So is this now back to 4% or something? Yeah, 4.6. It's hardly worth bothering. We must both be having a bad week. Oh, I hope yours hasn't been too bad. Why have I got these black lines here? What's going on there? Don't know. Some good news. Right, we'll have to share some good news. I have some good news in work. I got a promotion. Very good. And the first thing I thought of was now I can get a bigger tank. That just shows you're committed or committable. But congratulations on the promotion. What have you been promoted to? Or are you not allowed to say? Let's tell you about my week, shall we? We'll get onto fishy stuff at some point. So, for those of you who are new here, and for those of you who are old here, please ignore the next 5 minutes while I recap. I'm moving house. So this house has been sold for bloody months. And we were meant to exchange last weekend and move today. But obviously, I'm still here, so we haven't moved, and we still haven't exchanged. And the people we're buying, person's house who we're buying, put a deadline on of today, saying if you don't get the exchange done today, that's it, I'm pulling out. And just in case he's watching, I'll not say anything nasty about him, but we've passed today and we haven't exchanged. We don't seem to have done anything this week at all. So I've had 2 days off work today, yesterday and today, which I was going to use to break down the fish room and move all the tanks into storage so as we could then get the removals guys to swarm in like locusts all over the house and pack everything up and get it out. So I've kind of half done that. If you follow me on Facebook, you'll have seen a little video of my ex-fish room. So I've been doing all that, but I've mostly been phoning estate agents and solicitors and everybody in between. As it turns out, the people who are buying our house are holding up the rest of the chain, or their solicitors are holding up the rest of the chain, so to speak. And it was as if it's like, we'll get to it eventually. And I'm on the phone to them going, oh, you need to be phoning up to our estate agents. You need to be phoning up, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. And the answer's always coming back as, well, they did send an email last Tuesday, so they're just waiting for a response. And you're like, you need to be doing a lot more than sending emails once a week. So it kind of came to a head last night, where my good lady wife and I did a bit of internet sleuthing, and we found the solicitors that they're using, looked them up, started spamming them on all forms of social media. I eventually got through to their practice lead on LinkedIn, of all things. And he got back to me, oh, sorry, I'm on holiday. So all that good stuff. We finally got a response from them today. They told us what they were waiting for. They told us how they were going to address it all, but they couldn't get it done by today. So then my estate agent had to go and beg to the people above us to please don't pull out. We'll get it sorted next week. Honest gov, hopefully. Touch wood, all that kind of stuff. So we're kind of on the cusp now. So this is house news. We're kind of on the cusp of moving now. We should get it signed and sealed next week at some point, possibly Monday, Tuesday. And then I don't know if that means we'll actually move on Friday next week, or it'll go to the week after that. There was some talk of moving on a Monday, which just seems wrong, but I don't know. I guess you can move on a Monday just like any other day. So that's where we are. So on top of all that, I've been moving my fish room out of my garage. So the garage fish room is no more. I've set up a temporary fish room in the new digs that I've rented. So I've rented a flat for my fish. Go and watch my latest video if you want to know more about that. That's up and running. I've just come back from there, so I'm having to go over there. It takes about half an hour to get there. So I'm having to go over there every night to just check on everything, because anytime you move fish or set up new tanks, that's the time when things are going to go wrong. because whether you kill your filter bacteria during the move, or they don't quite like some bit of the water that you can't measure and tell that it's different. So it's been mega stressful. Been back and forward there all week. And yeah, so far so good. I have had some losses. I've lost one, I forget the name of it now. I've lost one wild guppy. I've lost one muck guppy. I've lost 2 bristlenose plecos. One was completely my own fault, so I'm not feeling great about that one. The other one, I don't know what happened. It didn't look very good, if I'm completely honest, when I moved it, and it didn't last long when I got there. The other one, I used the wrong net to get it out, so I carried them across in a bucket. I didn't put them in bags or anything like that. But I had a very, very, very fine meshed net for them, because bristlenose plecos, they have these little, Rebecca, help me out here, what are these things called that stick out from the side when they get all upset? Spiny things. I don't know if this is true. This is just my observations over the years, that if you harass or hassle a bristlenose pleco, it'll stick out these things and like, beat it, I'm sticking in here. And I used the wrong net with a lot of a wider net, and it got stuck in there, and it just was not coming out for love nor money. So I had to get it down there. I'm shaking it off. I'm trying to pull it and tease it out, these little bits. I had it out of the water for ages, and I'm obviously manhandling it, and that's not good. Eventually got it out, but when I came back tonight, that was the one that was dead. So I was a bit like, that's my fault. I've probably killed that one. So not feeling great about that. Odontoads. I don't know if that is the thing that I mean. It's like just under their gills. Or just under their gills, that's not what I meant. They're like little porcupiney bits. Yeah, maybe that is what they are. I never know how to Google these things, because I'm sitting here at the computer going, what do you call the sticky out bits on plecos? 0 results. Alright. What do you call those jaggy bits on plecos? 0 results. But yes, maybe it is odontoads. So anyway, the actual move in the fish room, that's all now up and running. All my fish are over there, except for my discus tank. So that's the only tank to be broken down. These tanks are still running technically, but there's only plants in that one. There's a couple more bristlenose plecos in this one to the side of me. Oh, have I got... I do apologise. I think I've still got... My autofocus was going a bit mad there. Way, there we go. See me in all my glory. So I've got a couple more to move across. And I've got the discus tank to break down, which was going to be this weekend's job, or this last couple of days' job, but obviously with not moving, not quite so much rushing, I'd rather keep them here closer to me, just so as I can keep an eye on them. But it's going quite well, I think. I've got everything condensed into 10 tanks at the moment. I've got a further 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 tanks out in the back garden. I've got 3 or 4 tanks in here. I've ripped out all the racking from the fish room. I've only broken 2 fish tanks. One which broke quite spectacularly. I wonder if I could show you a picture of my fish room. I can talk about what I'm talking about. That's not what I meant to say. Let's see if I can find something. Oh, 2016, 2017. Come on, mouse, you can do it. This might be my first ever video, I'm not sure. Bear with me. So one of the tanks was the small tank in the top left of the right hand rack. Yeah, that's descriptive. I'll show you a picture in a minute, bear with me. Have a beverage. Just waiting for the skip ads bit. This is the one, Kaylee, I think you watched earlier, because it's got the fish room spider in it. I'm trying to find a picture now. Come on, give me a wide shot. Ugh. Okay, kind of this one. So if you can see this tank here, when I first set up the fish room, it was big tank, little tank, little tank, and then big tank, little tank, little tank. In this particular one on the left here, I drained it down, got everything out. I went to lift it out, and I pulled it by the top of the tank, by the rim. I pulled it out, and it came away fairly easily. Just and slid it out, and went to put my hand underneath it to carry it out into the garden where I was just going to take them all to clean. There was no bottom. The bottom had stuck to the polystyrene base and just completely, without any effort at all, just completely separated. I'd never seen anything like it, never known anything like it. It wasn't leaking. There was no leaks or anything. Just the force of me going and sliding it across completely delaminated. That's not the word I mean. Completely came away from the base. So I've siliconed it back on and stuff, but I'll need to resell it properly just to reuse the tank. But I've never seen anything like that. I don't know why, how, what had happened. The polystyrene had somehow moulded to the glass. When I got the glass off the polystyrene, it was stuck down pretty good, but it came away fairly easily. So that was one tank. Then this tank here, in fact, these two tanks I broke ages ago. So one of these tanks is the one where I cracked it right down the middle and then resealed it right down the middle. So it works, but it's unsightly. This one I broke many moons ago by trying to re-drill a hole here and accidentally using a hammer drill. The hammer drill setting on my drill. I went, oh, okay, that's good. And then this tank here, so that tank died ages ago. I don't have that one anymore. And this tank here, when I moved it, these bits here, the overflows that I've got in the tanks, I bumped it on the door on the way out, and it just sheared and went chunk off that corner there. So I am the breaker of tanks. Let's go back to Big Face. So the garage is empty. It's great. It's weird. It's just weird looking at it. I do, however, get to play darts now because I can stand where those tanks were. Use my dartboard again. Right, sorry, I've been rambling now for 20 minutes. Let's see. People have probably been talking and shouting things at me. I think the last thing I saw was Noodle Sandwich got a new job. What was your new job? I can't remember. Are you the Benson's for Bed person? I'm having flashbacks of having a conversation about beds with someone and a discount. Or if you're not the Benson's for Bed person, can they get back in touch with me? Because I want to buy a bed. Odontals, no. Tim from Aquaguild is joining the wrong account, but giving us an extra like from that one. Excellent. Evertrable, hypertrophiod, meaning enlarged odontals, external teeth. Odontodes. Yes, yeah, I think that is what I meant. I must have just read it wrong the first time. Yeah, the sticky out bits, I'm going to stick to that. It's easier to say. They are odontodes like spines. There you go. As long as you learn from it, then it was not a needless death. It kind of was a needless death. That's the only reason I purchased the other net, was for netting out bristlenose plecos, because it's happened to me before. So I've stupidly let it happen to me again. So that one is definitely on me. I don't know what to say about it. I'm sorry. These things happen. I will definitely learn from it this time. I catch most by hand. It takes time, even longer with juveniles. Though, yeah, most of mine I had caught with hand because you can kind of guide them into the corner, scoop them over into a bucket, job done. But there's always, I don't know what it is about plex. There's like 3 or 4 in this tank to the left of me here, and I must have gone through it, emptied it 100 times, looking for things, and go, oh no. Then I'll be sat here working out the corner of my eye. I'll just see one on the glass like that. Hello, mister, you forgot me. I found one in a tank that I had drained and left about that much water in. Went away, did something else, had dinner, went to the other fish room, spent an hour or two there, came back, and it was just sat at the front of the glass going, "Hey, oh, you've got me." And there's really good expert hiders. I guess that's what they're all about. If you put the fish bag in the net, you won't get them stuck. That's a good tip. I have not thought about that before. Put the fish bag. Right. So as they can't get at the thing, but then the net doesn't move through the water quite as well. Picking at straws. Picking at straws. That's not what I meant. I don't know what I mean anymore. Does anybody mind if you just chatted amongst yourselves and I just had a bit of a rest? I'm absolutely shattered. What's up, man? Is it a bad idea to put two species of fish that naturally don't get along in the same tank? I'm trying to think of a way not to say yes. If they don't get along naturally, that makes me think they're going to fight, and then that'll be bad, because at best they'll be stressed out constantly, and at worst one of them will kill the other one. Or at worst, one of them will kill the other one and the other one will die from injuries sustained during the fight. But there are fish that you can put together you wouldn't necessarily think might make good tank mates. I'm thinking of things. For instance, I've had betta fish where I've kept betta fish with other tank inhabitants, and it's been absolutely fine. They've never done anything. And I've had betta fish where you do exactly the same thing, exactly the same conditions, and they murder everything in the tank. So there are some fish where personality will come into it, whether that individual specimen is an arse or not, might make a difference. But if one is prey of another naturally, then that's not going to work out usually. I don't know if you're being sarcastic there, Nathaniel. You're really good with fish. Thank you very much. Will German blue rams be okay in a Dutch planted tank KH3GH5 2-foot cube? Probably. Well, there's no reason they shouldn't be. A 2-foot cube, that's a nice, good size for... Are you talking about a pair? I guess it depends how many. Some people will do pairs of rams and some people will do big groups looking to pare down later. But in terms of water parameters, that should be fine. Again, it'll depend where your rams are coming from, whether they like that water. I have famously struggled with rams due to poor quality stock, so it's quite hard to find good rams. Lots of people have struggled with poor quality stock for rams. But if you get them from a hobbyist, a home breeder or something like that, you know that they're going to be hopefully a little bit stronger and a little bit more tolerant of your water, especially if you get something from someone localish. So join a fish club, all that kind of stuff. But no reason why they shouldn't, other than rams can notoriously be tricky anyway. Wendy's in. Evening, Wendy. Let's see if we can get down. I was hoping to introduce Jennifer about past, so let's see if we can get to the bottom. Courtney, thank you as always for those kind words, making me feel better. PETA will not be happy with the unnecessary Pleco death. They will not, will they? A murderer. There's been a murder. It was a purple burglar. Did it with a burglar alarm went off. Are discus tropical? Discus are tropical fish. Yes, they prefer warmer temperatures. Happy to answer any of your discus questions. That's one thing I do know some things about. So is that your new job, Courtney? The new rep at PETA. Oh, thank goodness. It's not just me then. Forgetting fishies from training tanks happens all the times with my banjo cat fishies. Welcome to the Man Butcher's Latin Names section of the podcast. It's not a podcast. Why did I say that? bunocephalus. Bunocephalus. Banjo catfish. Just read that and got completely the wrong message. Chris is home with a nice Chinese. What's his name? Now discussing Chinese restaurants. 88 in Girvan. 88 in the air is my favourite. Nathaniel's not being sarcastic. Thank you. Max Pedley has great rams. Yes, any of the well-renowned hobbyists, breeders, shops. I mean, a good shop will know after a while if they're getting their rams from a wholesaler, for instance, and people are constantly coming back and going, "Oh, it died after a week," or if they have them in the shop and they're dropping off, they'll stop ordering them. A good shop, that is. Bad shops, you'll just see them constantly in there, and you'll see floaters quite often if you go in regularly. I love how I'm using this app Twidget so as I can show you my comments here, but it translates emojis. It's like if you texted the landline, a robot would read it out. It'll say, "I will be home at 3 o'clock. Ha 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 ha." Fishy question. Ray Duffy, what's the best auto water changer for multiple tanks? Let me think about that for a second. I don't really know. So the system that I've used is I have, or had in my fish room, an HMA filter, which is a heavy metal axe, basically 5 or 2.5 micron filter, then a carbon block filter, then a carbon granule filter, and that takes out all the nasties out of your tanks. And then I would run a line around the fish room. In fact, can I show you any of that in my video? Right, here we go, small face. So this would be my cold line, and this would be my hot line, and then there's a TMV valve, a thermostatic mixer valve, which I could set at whatever temperature I want. In hindsight, I kind of gave up with that. I barely ever used it. I would use it if I wanted to fill up a large tank quickly with hot water, but for my auto water change, just used the cold and bypassed it altogether. So that would go down, the cold water would come in here. If it goes down a bit, there's the friendly fish room spider. Not that you can see it. Ah! It doesn't look big, but it was freaking enormous, that thing. So there's a TMV valve, and come on, Graham, pan down. You can do it. Pan down. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. There you go. So there's my HMA filter. So it goes through your sediment filter bit, so it takes out any actual particulates and nasties in the water. Then you've got carbon granules and carbon block, or the other way around, I'm not sure which way it is. And then this line, this was the out, that would run around the top of the fish room, and I would have T pieces dropping into each tank. So for instance, well, this is V1 of this. There I would have proper plumbed lines with taps on them dropping into each tap. Easy to speak. So these lines would then fill up the tank, and they'd be, I had them like this so as I could set them up for fast water changes and fast fills, and then I would just leave them dripping for the majority of the time. And then each tank was drilled with an overflow, and this overflow went into the drain. So it was just a constant water change. Yeah, the automatic part being that you never had to do anything, it just was always going. I changed that and changed out these pieces here for just more of that water line, with a T-piece, come down to the water line, and I'd fit a drip tip, so it was like an irrigation, what are they used for? They're like for planting, garden irrigation things, the little things. You can jam them into the end of the water pipe, and you twist them, and it lets out 1 drip, 2 drip, 3 drips per second, or whatever it might be. And I've used them ever since. They've been excellent. So they would just constantly top up the water, and then the old water would overflow every now and again. So maybe once a month, once every couple of months. In truth, maybe once or twice a year, I would do like a big massive water change, because it's not quite as good as doing a proper water changes. So that's my auto water change. Whether it's the best, I don't know, but it was reliable and it worked for years, so I'd go for it. Right, big face. Right, sorry, let me go back to where I was. Let me find the comments, and then we'll say hello to Jennifer. After watching some of your old school videos, like the fanboy I am, would you still recommend the Corbin discus? 100%, yes, definitely. Extremely happy with the fish that I've had from Corbin discus, and the advice. Tim at Corbin discus, he helped me plan out my first iteration of my fish room. He talked me through all my stupid mistakes and gave me tips here and there. And yeah, no, I would definitely recommend it. You would not regret it. Only trouble is he doesn't ship fish, so unless you live round here or are willing to make the journey, you're not really going to get them. And the only other person that sells his discus in the UK, well, I think there's 2 now. I think there's one in Wales and there's one in Durham. So Durham Discus sell the I forgot what kind of discus they are now. Oh, brain, come on, you can do it. It's a word that's hard to say, a name that's hard to say. All I can think of is Tai Nu Tran, because that's a guy from Vietnam I used to work with about 25 years ago. Martin Ng, there you go. Martin NG discus. Fairly famous Malaysian breeder of discus. So, yes, back to the other conversation. Paul, never had any joy with rams, given up on them, don't want any more fish deaths for no reason. Yeah, they are just so delicate, the ones that we get these days. It's hard to find a good supply. Oh, good idea for a poll. Let's see, how do we do polls again? I never remember. I need to find the chat, don't I? Let's try a wee poll. Oh, I almost super chatted myself. So, there you go. A nice, simple question. Are you subscribed? Yes or no? And if you wouldn't mind, and I won't be offended, if you say no, tell me why. What is it that puts you off subscribing? So, Nathaniel, I have 5 shrimps. There are 2 males, and all 3 of my females are pregnant. Is a male cheating? Well, I guess so. It doesn't really work like that, but you're going to have to wait till year 7 or year 8 when they give you the sex education talk and you find out about eggs and reproduction and things like that. It's generally now said that the balloons are more hardy because they've been so inbred by farms. That's a shame. The balloons are just not my cup of tea, really. Here you go. Simon's giving you the actual answer. Doesn't work like that in the Animal Kingdom. Oh, gorgeous these. No, I'm not. That was a big spider. Oh, pardon me. That wasn't a spider, it was a small dog. That's nothing compared. Oh, right. So if you think that one was a big spider. So today I took down one of the other racks in the fish room, And I'm there quite happily whacking away with my mallet, taking down all the bits. And underneath the bottom board, it got a bit damp because I think from overflows and various spills and all kinds of things, the bottom board had taken a bit of hit. So there's a bit of mould growing under this, like fungusy type stuff. And I lifted it up and I was a bit like, oh god, that's disgusting. So I'm taking it out to the car to take it down to the tip. And I'm trying not to touch the mould. So I'm kind of holding it gingerly. And I'm not proud of this, but I made a noise that was probably higher pitched than my 9-year-old daughter could make, because I realised as I was holding it in a funny angle, I was trapping the leg of a spider that was bigger than my hand with my grip, and I went, ah, in the middle of the street with maybe 5 or 6 people and my neighbours all out at the same time watching me do this. Who all then came running over and me going, oh, no, it's just I was touching a bit of the disgusting mouldy stuff. It wasn't the biggest spider I've ever seen in my life attacking me. I'm not a big fan of spiders, I must admit. I'm not the manliest of men when it comes to spiders. I'll usually get the hoover out or tell my wife. But oh my god, the legs on this thing were bigger than my hand. It was like a daddy long legs, but the body of it was like a fist. I might be slightly over-exaggerating this now, but it was a big old beast. And when I let go of its leg, it jumped onto my hand, and then jumped off my hand and ran into the bushes. My heart was giving it. Oh, God. Even now, I'm thinking about it, I'm starting to get a sweat on again. Whew. And now I have to change tack and act serious again. Proper questions. Does the cost of replacement filters matter in the water quality? Do you mean like in the HMA filters? There are better filters, so you can spend more, but my water's not that bad here, so I really don't need to get any fancy ones. But yes, if your water was particularly harsh and horrible, then yeah, you can get better filter cartridges to give you better water quality. Arachnophobia inbound. So that was probably earlier when I was introducing you to the fish room spider, but oh god, the one today. Right, let's get down to the bottom and then we can get Jen on and say hello. There's a good advice. When all else fails with blue rams, go Bolivian. I've heard, not got much experience myself, but I've heard people talking about the same sort of thing happening across the board with rams, even gold rams, all kinds of rams. But, you know, I just saw rams from a local breeder today. Sadly, I don't have a tank empty for them. Yeah, I mean, it's something I wanted to do, was to get into breeding rams so as I could be the guy supplying the good rams. So, I think you need to get yourself another tank. As you said, you need to get yourself a new tank. There we go. Massive fan. Thank you very much. Does that mean you're massive or you're very much a fan? Sorry, terrible joke. I'm tired. Breeding tropical fish for a living. Is it possible when living in the UK? I don't know. I must be. The evidence would just suggest not, because it's not something lots of people are doing it, and it's being done on massive scales on warehouses across Europe. However, with our fantastic government and Brexit and all that kind of stuff screwing up international trade, maybe it will be one day, but you kind of have to go for it. I don't think it's possible unless you can do it on like proper scale, unless it's something like very specific or niche. I just don't think it's possible unless you do it on some kind of massive scale. And I'm talking warehouses upon warehouses, sizes of football fields and all that kind of stuff. And just the costs of, so tropical, you're talking about heat. So the cost of heating your water is so variable, because you might plan for something. You might plan for 3 hot months, and they're the coldest months you ever get, and then the hot months never come. You might have accidents, biosecurity, all those kind of things are really difficult at that size of scale, especially as you will probably, at that scale, you can't look after everything yourself, so you're trusting more and more people to do all the husbandry and all that kind of stuff. And are they going to be as bothered with biosecurity as you are? You get one problem, you wipe out half your stock, all those kind of things. So, not impossible, and I think if it was ever going to be possible, now might be the time to do it. But tricky, and requiring a lot of investment, no doubt. So I would always go with some kind of specialism if you wanted to do it to make money. I mean, everyone I know who is a successful breeder of something, whether it be discus, whether it be any other type of fish, it's not their main job. So the people who have it as their main job in their trade is because they have a shop and they're selling all sorts of things. They don't make their money from their breeding projects necessarily. They're always having to ship in fish to then sell them on to sustain what they want to do. I don't know if that makes sense, but I might come back to it afterwards. Pardon me. Oh, there's an interesting one. I have a trio of discus when a male is paired with one female, but another female lays eggs when he's around and tries to pester them. Yeah, I've got exactly the same thing going on in mine at the moment. I'll have the male and the female will be about to lay, and I've got one that's doing it fairly regularly at the moment. And the female will come in, start laying her eggs, and then the male will go in afterwards to fertilise. The other female will come in and bash that one out of the way, lay a few eggs of her own, and then the male's a bit like, yeah, whatever, hey, 2 ladies. He's obviously not thinking that, but he goes and does his thing. So I think that's quite common. What do they call it? The cuckoo syndrome or cuckoo behaviour of lots of different species, whether it be especially egg-laying species and things like that, but lots of fish and mammals that live in the sea and things like that, they all do that sort of things. Dolphins are quite good at doing that, apparently. Poll. Oh yes, we were doing a poll. Results are in. My mouse isn't working. But the results of the poll are 100% of people are subscribers. Thank you very much. I was hoping to get some good, useful feedback from someone who could tell me that it was, no, it's because your face is ugly, or something like that. Not that I can do anything about that. Oh, sorry, it's all skipping around. Yeah, I took a bit of a straw poll on a call the other day about who does the spider duty in their house. More often than not, it was the women that did the spider duty. There you go, Urban standing up for the men. Andy's got 3 pea puffer fish. Is there any fish the little rascals will get along with? You could try, so I kept my pea puffers with ottos and coolie loaches, and they didn't really do anything. Not to say they wouldn't sometime, but I didn't have any problems, and I know a few other people were problem-free with those particular fish. But get more pea puffers, that might be the way to go. A bigger group would look cool. There you go. It's from someone who has worked in the industry. Breeding fishes for profit isn't viable unless you have a way of cutting electric and water bill costs. Yeah, water as well. I keep forgetting about water. So you need to find yourself somewhere, some site that's got a factory that's not on a water meter, that has some kind of energy reclamation nearby where you can make use of their heat. I did have a brainwave at one point where I was going to heat a fish room with GPU mining cards, so I could be mining Bitcoin while heating my fish room at the same time and offsetting the cost of the electricity for the Bitcoin generation with the fish room breeding profits, but maybe next year. Pardon me. Right, apologies if I'm missing. I have only had one drink. I've not even had one drink. Still to finish it. I'm already slurring my words. My Hoover does the spider duty in my house quite right, so does mine. Right, I think we're nearly down to the bottom. So, Jennifer, if you want to jump into Discord, I'll see if I can remember how to do this. Because I'll need to find the old headphones. Get rid of my empties. So this is a section coming up called Meet the Mods. I think we've met 4 or 5 of the moderators, so we've only got 1 or 2 to go. I think this might be the original mod, or the first mod. Jennifer helped out on my Facebook group, as well as videos and things. So she's... I'll just say, actually, on the spider beater beers. Maybe that's what it is. It just says it on the thing. Down to 4.6% liars. It's up at 6.4. Anyway, sorry. Where was I? I was trying to do Discord, wasn't I? Bear with me, callers. We'll get there in the end. So if I go here, and then in here, if you can see me on Discord and Livestream YT guests, we'll get you in there. She may have gone to the loo. Right, let me find my... Oh, I've been woken in the middle of the night by my children saying, "That's a spider!" And I'm like, tell your mum. What have I missed? Little Sandwiches plugged something? Must have missed that one. Has anyone checked on Jennifer? She does have a habit of falling over. Drinking too much. Ah, right. There you go. Noodle Sandwich making his claim for a mod ship. Why can't I see that in this one? So we'll do a bit of a plug while we wait. This isn't working. This isn't working. You all hear my mouse scrolling, or is it just me that can hear that? It's extremely loud. Anyway, she's in the other chat. Right, okay. Bear with me. So she is. It's probably me that's in the wrong chat. Aha! I can see you now.
Right.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Right, let me just put this over here and see.
I've only got a wee face. Right, never mind. Right.
Your face is perfectly fine. So we'll do this button here and ta-da! So if I look this way, Oh, no, I look that way. I'm going to need to put you on the other side, so I'm looking the right there. That's it. So, everyone, welcome. Jennifer, first moderator, chief moderator. I have prepared no new questions for you, so if you studied last week's questions, you'll get the same stuff again. But we'll kick off as we normally do by saying, everyone, please welcome Jennifer. It seems like a daft thing to say, but it's not easy to be on camera and talk at the same time. I know I make it look so easy and effortless, but that's why I'm constantly falling over my words. But introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, national insurance number, mother's maiden name, all that kind of stuff. And then we'll ask you some interesting and deep dive questions.
Well, my name's Jennifer, as you've all guessed. I've been married. I'm now divorced. I'm in a new relationship, extremely happy. I have got loads of animals. It's 5 cats, 1 small fish tank at the moment, hoping to saving up for a bigger one. I did work in a lab in Glasgow, but I gave that up because travelling was a nightmare with COVID-strewn buses and timetables and stuff. So I now work in a hotel, changing beds and mopping floors and ironing and all sorts of things, but it pays me, so what more did anyone want? And
I believe you get a few extra house guests as well.
Eh?
I believe you get a few extra house guests today as well. I saw some pictures of some puppies.
That was at my daughter's house. My daughter was offered to puppy sit for a friend who's at the Transmit Festival in Glasgow.
All right.
And then she decided that she was going to go out with her boyfriend, so mother had to be puppy sit.
Well, there are worse jobs, aren't there?
But the ultimate of today was the puppy is called Wilson. So I got to stand in the garden and go, Wilson! Made my week.
Very good. So I think that's the best kind of thing. They always say things like, oh, grandparents are great because they get to give them back at the end of the day. But it works the same way for pets, doesn't it? You can get the cute bit with the snuggles and the ruffles and then say, there you go. You pick up its poop.
I'll be back. The Wilson bit was... She's never seen Castaway. I need to educate my daughter.
Well, yeah, definitely. I watched that about a week ago, actually. Yeah, that's strange. Really?
Yeah. I'm a huge Tom Hanks fan.
All right.
Huge Tom Hanks fan. I've liked him since the days of Splash, that some people in this YouTube channel won't know what we're talking about.
Well, Turner and Hooch, I think that was my... must have been my favourite film when I was younger. In fact, I think I might have went on my first ever date to the cinema to watch Turner and Hooch. I'm going to have to Google it to see how old it is. When did that come out? 1989, so that made me 12. Yeah, that could have been about right. So, anyway, we like to start these things off by saying to everyone in the comments, if you have any questions for Jennifer, by all means ask, and we'll catch up with them at the end. But I've got some questions we'll ask you to help everyone get to know you a little bit better. And I'll just run through these. So, what got you into fish keeping?
I was about 12 or 13. One of my best friends at school, her dad had a fish tank, which I loved. And I kept doing silly things. Like I would go to the pet shop, buy 1 penguin tetra or 1 cardinal tetra and ask him to put it in the fish tank, keep it for me. And then eventually my parents decided it would be a good idea to get me my own. But they thought they were being smart. My dad was a joiner, so he built this stand thing. And my mum said it was a bookcase for encyclopedias.
All right.
It turned out a stand for a fish tank. So I got my first fish tank when I was about 13 for my Christmas.
What did you put in it? Can you remember?
Yes, I had dwarf Grammys, I had an angel, I had a common plecostomus, I had a black-tailed shark, numerous guppies and zebra danios.
That sounds like the amalgamation of everyone's first fish tank. Yeah, I'm going to get one of everything and stick them all in there. Definitely.
One of them, and I love two of them, and that's the opposite colour of that one, so I'll have one each of them.
Yeah. So I know you've been in the dark side for a while as well. You kept marine tanks for a long time, didn't you? And you said you've got one fish tank at the moment. Tell me about your journey. What got you into marines over freshwater, and what's your plans for the future?
Well, it's marines because I was in Dobbies one day and they had black and white clownfish.
We have to explain this for our English viewers and other people. Dobbies is a garden centre, which usually has an aquatic section. Is it Maidenhead Aquatics in Scotland? Are they the ones that are in Dobbies? Yeah.
Fishkeeper, yeah. And I fancied these two black and white clownfish, and my children wanted to call them Air and United, which is a local football team which wear black and white. So, kids win. Well, that was my excuse. So we get the two black and white clownfish, and then I got a mandarin, and then I got a scooter blenny, and then I thought I need a bigger tank. And a friend of mine was selling a 6 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot tank that was marine cheap, so I bought it.
As you do.
As you do.
Yeah.
So I had that, and then I also got a 3 foot tank. It's a quarantine tank for the marines, alongside my 3 foot tank that had aquatic frogs in it, and then I had another nano tank that I then set up my kids' bedroom so that they could have dotty-backs and other miniature marine fish. And I think I had about 8 tanks at the time, because there was 3 in the living room, 1 in the middle landing of the stairs, 1 in my bedroom, 1 in the kids' bedroom, and I think there was 1 in the kitchen. Freshwater and marine. So
you like to keep them spread around, yeah.
I didn't have a room for a fish room. There was an empty space in the corner of a room, so I put a tank in it.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? That's what happens in our house when my wife ever says to me, "Oh, I've got a space over there we could get and I got a fish tank." I was thinking side table, Graham. No. So what got you into?
What's the side table?
Yeah, well, I think it's a perfect compromise, definitely. So, yeah. Are you planning to go back to the dark side, or are you going to stick to freshwater for a while?
I think I'll stick with the freshwater at the moment. The marines, the fish are too blooming expensive.
I've always found if you stick marine in front of anything, even equipment, it's so a freshwater light, 30 quid. Stick a marine light in it, it's 300 all of a sudden. You're like, what? It's just a light.
Yeah. I once paid £140 for, what was it? It was a tang of some description.
Oh, yeah.
But a rare one. And it was £140. And I can't eat it. So I'm not getting back there.
Well, at least it was a cat and not a child.
We shall leave it at that one. If you have a marine tank, don't have it open top. That's my biggest tip.
Yeah, well, that's the style these days, though. So if you have a marine tank, don't have lots of cats.
Yeah, well, I had 14 at the time.
14? 4?
14 cats.
Are you that lady from The Simpsons?
No, I don't chop them in people.
I should really ask you about your cats rather than your fish.
Well, I've only got 5 at the moment.
And did you acquire all these legally, or do you just like leave trail of breadcrumbs and stuff to your door and then they all come round?
Everything's legal and above board. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I think our cat, he's got about 3 houses in our street that he thinks he lives in because all the neighbours feed him as well. Anyway, yeah. back to the fish. I'll launch into my quickfire section and then we'll see if there's any questions from the floor, because I see we've got a couple. What's your favourite part of the hobby?
Watching them. Relaxing the fish. Just sitting watching the fish and relaxing.
This Yeah, this is good because we've had a few of the mods until now have been fairly recent fish keepers. So it's good to see a difference from an more established fish keeper, because I always thought it was fascinating that we've got answers from the likes of Simon saying he really likes doing the maintenance, and then I think it was Scott said he hates doing the maintenance, and then we've got everything in between. But sitting and watching the fish, that's what it's all about, isn't it? That's what you really want.
Yep. You just sit there and stare at them and switch off. Yeah,
definitely. That's why I have fish here, because when I get pissed off with whatever's going on at work, I can just turn around and go, ah. So your least favourite part of the hobby?
Trying to decide what to buy next.
Yeah, I get that. Because when you're limited with tank space and tanks, you can only get so many things at once. Yeah. Yes. No, that is annoying. So if you had the chance and you had the space and you could do whatever you wanted, what would your dream fish tank look like? Would it be one tank that was just massive and you could fit what you want in, or would it be...
Yeah, I would go back to my big 6-foot tank.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have about a dozen discus in it. So 3 would be blue, 3 would be yellow, 3 would be red, and 3 would be white. And then I would have a school of rummy-nosed tetras, some otocinclus, and a load of coolie loaches.
No, that would be good. A nice big planted tank. Do you like the aquascaping side of things, or you not as fussed? Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I
like my plants. Especially like confusing people when they use their fancy names and they go, it's a what? I went, it's a beautiful andrum. I went, it's a wee green one. I went, yeah, well it is.
I'm the same. Every time somebody talks to me about Latin names of whether it's plants or fish, I'm like, I probably know what that is, but I've got no idea right now. It just sounds like you're casting a spell. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned discus there, which is clearly the answer to my next question, but what's your favourite fish? So
my favourite fish.
If you don't say discus, you're just wrong.
No. Okay, I'm wrong. My favourite fish is coolie loaches, because they're weird, they're squirmy, and they're quirky. A bit like me, because apparently I'm just weird.
And squirmy?
Well, that one, no. So I make other people squirm. Why have a sarcastic sense of humour and not use it?
That would be good for me as well, because I think they're nice and easy as well. So you don't need a big massive tank for them. They get on with lots of other different types of fish, and they are weird. They're cool looking little weird things. So yeah, I get that.
How many do they get in a 6-foot tank?
Oh yeah, a couple of thousand probably. What about your least favourite?
All donations are welcome to find out.
Well, I shall be getting some, hopefully, in my new place. You never know. I don't know. Can people breed coolie loaches in captivity these days?
I don't know, but I did, accidentally.
Well, I'll have a crack at it, and if it works out, I'll send you some.
Mm-hmm. I say pea gravel, because I think the eggs go down into the gravel, and then the youngsters can grow up without getting eaten.
Ah, right, yeah, because I've heard that you should have like a gravelly side and a sandy side, because they have different requirements for different stages of life. So well, maybe that's why it was that. So as you're someone who's a bit more experienced, what's the best tip you've ever got, or what tip would you give to someone that was just getting started? Save someone a lot of pain or a lot of time or a lot of money.
So don't just buy something because it looks pretty. Check out what it is first.
Research.
Yes.
Yes.
You don't walk into a shop and go, oh, I like that shrimp. This was in marine tanks. And then you discovered that when you bring the shrimp home, it only eats starfish. And once all your starfish are dead, the shrimp dies.
But people do this all the time. This has always boggled my mind that Facebook is full of people saying, I've just bought this. What is it? You're like, you're meant to ask that before you buy it. Not. So.
That was the days before Google and mobile phone, so I had a sort of excuse.
Yeah.
Because you know what it's like in Scotland, you either had to go to Glasgow to get the fish, or you had to go to Cooper and Fife, or you had to drive down to Newcastle. they were the only places that sold marine fish. So you couldn't really research it before you went because you didn't know what it had.
Well,
So
I'm of an age as well where I remember going into the fish shops and asking a question, and whatever came out of that man's mouth was gospel, never to be challenged, and it was often complete bollocks. So you were kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yes, 96% of the time it was, yes.
Yeah.
It was just their opinion and it was usually wrong.
I know. So, my favourite question, if you had to be a fish, which type of fish would you be and why?
A betta fish.
And why?
Because I am beautiful, but I like to fight everyone.
I'm beautiful, but I've got an anger management problem. I like it. So we've got a couple of questions from people in the chat. So first off, from Freshwater Ichthyology, Rebecca, curious what kind of stuff Jennifer was working on. No, I can't actually read that. I'm going to have to find it. I'm curious what kind of stuff Jennifer studied while working in the lab. So you do have a chemistry background, don't you?
Yes, I've got a chemistry degree. I started off working in the clinical chemistry department at Crosshouse Hospital, where we did blood samples, like so liver function tests, U's, thyroid functions, stuff like that. Then had a child, so I left. Then I worked at the Royal Alexandra Hospital in Paisley in a clean room, where you had to dress up in weird stuff. Sort of forerunner to COVID, you had to wear masks and gowns and gloves and everything had to be totally sterile.
Not fancy dress, just like...
No, just, yeah. And that was like making up different solutions and stuff to send out to labs that were doing the testing. And then I was working up in Glasgow, where we were actually manufacturing COVID vaccines.
Oh,
the
right.
most boring job you could ever imagine.
But you get to call yourself a lifesaver.
Yeah, I know, but I was sitting in a bus, or buses, for an hour and a half there, and an hour and a half back, sitting in a lab, poured out my brain, and the way the buses were, and the weird people that you saw in buses, you're sort of, ooh. You thought, no, I don't like this. And then I worked out how much I was paying in bus fares and all the rest of it, so I got a job nearer to home, in a hotel. You get to meet people, I can use my quirky sense of humour, and I love it.
And you don't have to sit in buses for an hour and a half dealing with the great unwashed of Glasgow. Yeah.
That's correct, yes.
Yes, no, I feel your pain there. I saw a super chat come in there from Mickey, I think it was. Thank you very much for that one. And I also saw a really disrespectful comment from Callum there. It's like watching Shrek and Fiona.
I'm not green.
You're not green, but I must admit, the first time when I went to watch Shrek 2, or was it Shrek 3, the one where he turns human, I was already living in England at this point, so I kind of got the Shrek nickname already. But then when I saw the human version, I was like, oh God, it looks even more like me now. Oh. So, yeah, I've had to put up with that for a long time.
Thanks, Callum.
Yeah, thanks for that, Callum. I'm just having a quick look through the rest of the comments to see if there's any other ones. I've been told Dobbies exists UK-wide, so apologies for that. I thought that was just a Scottish thing. Another super chat from Simon. Let's see there. Oh, we've got a new...
Simon, I can't type it into the chat.
Yes, we'll say it out loud in actual person. Thank you, Simon. We've got a new joined us, Eric Staffens from Sweden, I think. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm really far behind in the chat now. I have no idea where we got to. Let me go.
Worry about it.
Oh, Mickey's...
Someone will kill you.
Mickey's super chat came with a comment. Jen is the best mod ever. There you go. High praise indeed. That doesn't get you out of it next week, Mickey. You still have to come on and do your stint.
I'm still getting Phil to go as well.
I know, and Phil, he's not bothering joining us tonight. He's off with his friends, I think. Simon saying, all hail chief moderator. Yeah, better be right. Keep your...
Yeah. I'll go back to my cider. Promise I won't have any black eyes tonight.
You can't make that promise this early in an evening. Definitely not.
I am all on my lonesome. I've got no date tonight. Don't cry.
Oh, well, we'll keep you company for a little while longer anyway. So, before we...
I'm having a date tonight just for you lot.
Really?
Appreciate it.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that. This is no way going to be as good. Oh,
I'm
well.
going out tomorrow instead.
Rain check, that's fine. So, before we say... What?
That was shouting at the cat that was about to jump up in the iPad.
Well, surely it must happen 10 times a day if you've got 300 cats.
Okay, 5 only.
Before we say good evening to Jennifer, I like to give everyone one last chance to say, if you want to impart one piece of advice, if you want to plug something, if there's something everyone should know about, this is your 30 seconds to say, you should be looking at this thing. This is worth 5 minutes of your time, or follow this tip and that'll save you loads. Whatever you want to say, the floor is yours.
As I said before, self-control. Don't spend for the sake of spending. As my mammy would say, keep your hand in your halfpenny.
Yes, no, that works. I was just, that immediately reminded me of something mine said, which was, "Dinny be frugal and mac my tin shugal," and that's when you used to go out every year when you were collecting. And she used to always say to me, "No, do be frugal. Don't make the tin shugal." People say us Scots have a reputation for being tight, you know. Right, I'd like to say thank you.
I just fight you over a penny.
Oh, dear God. I'd like to say thank you for joining me. I hope it wasn't too stressful or embarrassing or any of those things. You've done well. Jen will be with us in the chat, so make sure you leave a comment saying how well she did. But now we'll go back to my ugly mug. Thank you very much, Jennifer. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Didn't she do well? Oh, sorry, I've just bust my mic. I must stop hitting it every time I think I broke it. Right. Let me see if I can catch up with some of that stuff. Shrek Endlers. There are Shrek Endlers. I did not know there was such a thing. Do you like The Lion King? Yeah, why not? Mickey's ready for his awkward interview. It's not an interview, it's a friendly chat. Ooh, Chris has got a stalker. A very nice delivery of wine and gin. No idea who sent it. You're welcome. It wasn't me. Shall we do a bit of a giveaway? What do we think? Shall we do a bit of a giveaway? And I think for his excellent promotion of all things Aquarium Adventures, we might have to promote Noodle Sandwich as well. So, what do we think? Should we make that another poll? Promote Noodle Sandwich, the moderator, for his great support. My experience, the eel loaches, coolie loaches are very peaceful, but do like to be in large numbers. Yes, they do. Right. Oh God, I've not even been using my things. I need to write a script. I have other cameras. Oh, I have other cameras that are broken. I have other cameras that are not broken. What's wrong with the GoPro? Why are you not working? Cost a bloody fortune as well. Bloody thing didn't work. Maybe it's because I dropped it in a river. Who knows? Right, okay. Ugly face. Would you like to win some stuff? This is probably your last chance to win some stuff for a while, because all this stuff's going into storage soon. Let's see. We'll do a bit of a giveaway. Some more questions. In fact, I'm going to put these away because they're making my head hot and it echoes. Oh, don't think I've ever had sweaty ears before. Right, let me find the chat. In fact, sorry, I have to do some admin, so I'll use this time to tell everyone, thank you for joining me. If it's your first time here, I think we had a couple of first-time joiners. I'd be ever so grateful if you would click the subscribe button, and you might find something interesting. No guarantees. And if you do like the stuff you see, by all means, super chats, they're not forbidden here. But not required either. But you can join the channel if you want to, and you get access to all kinds of things like emojis and stickers and stuff. And you get a discount on anything you might want to order in the Aquarium Adventures shop if you go for the Hero membership. And eventually, when I get a bit more time, you'll get some exclusive content just for being a member. So there's the join options, which you should hopefully see. Oh, sorry, did it again. Should hopefully see down below somewhere. How do you get out of this? I can never get. I don't know how you leave a Discord chat. Oh, there you go. Yes, I do. Yay, well done, me. But more than anything else, if you just like anything you've seen in any of the parts of the channel, click the subscribe button, watch a couple of videos. That's all I ask. It's all free. You don't need to do anything else. I may be talking to myself now because I think I've just closed OBS. No, we're still here. Thank God. So, I think we'll have a little bit of a giveaway. Now that I've worked that out. Shall we find out what to win first or pick the winner first? I never know what way to go around. Let's see what we can win. Get some interest. The wheel's there. No, it's there. It's going. It is. What is it? It's a polo or a t-shirt. So, oh God, I've not even had time to change into my official merchandise tonight. You saw Jen wearing my Aquarium Adventures shirt. So you can go on the website. In fact, let's do that. We'll show you the website and show you what you can win. What's my website called? Anyone remember? aquariumadventures.co.uk. Let's go on Little Face. So you'll be presented with something along these lines. Let me just get rid of Rebecca's comment so you can see. I have listened to your feedback and tried to get rid of some adverts. There's still bloody adverts on the thing. I can't figure it out. But there's fewer, hopefully. So you shouldn't see as many. Well, there's one there. So there are still some ads, but hopefully fewer than there were the last time. But if you want to win this, or if you just want to buy one yourself, that's absolutely fine. Click on shop, scroll down to merch, and then we're talking about the polo shirt or the t-shirt. So if you go for the t-shirt, for instance, you can have any option you want. So this particular one is the This Sucks Pleco logo. You can have the same thing, but with This Blows, with the classic discus logo, or Aquarium Adventures. That's the actual embroidered image. So none of this screen printing nonsense. These are all embroidered, proper premium quality stuff by our good friend Phil, who we'll be speaking to next week, if not Mickey. Oh, I forgot to say, Jennifer, you have to nominate. Is it Phil or Mickey next week? So you can let us know in the comments. But anyway, this is what's up for grab. A t-shirt, you just go on any colour you want, any size you want, and then you choose your logo. Same for the polo shirts. Good, high quality stuff. Embroidery, not stickers, not screen prints. Not going to fade away after a couple of washes. Really good stuff. Have I said it's really good stuff? It's really good stuff. So that's what you can win. If you want to be eligible to win, you have to either live in the UK or be prepared to pay the postage. You have to be a subscriber. You have to, I don't know, click like. Yeah, let's go with that. Those are the things you have to do. And then the final thing you have to do is you have to mods, regulars, channels, keyword. I think I saw someone suggest, was that Courtney suggested Shrek as the keyword. So if you can, that's not how you spell Shrek, you idiot. Shrek, Shrek. If you want to be in with a chance to win a t-shirt or a polo shirt, type Shrek into the chat. And you might win one. So Rob Barry says, whereabouts on the website are the pens? I tried looking for a while ago but couldn't find them. I don't have them on the website. Sorry. If you want one though, just let me know. I'll send you one. I've only got a few left. I've only got about half a dozen left, and I'm going to put some in the goodie bag for tonight. But if you send me an email or something like that, Rob, I'll get you a pen sent out. Let's see if I've got any other. We've got another super chat. Chow with Lau, £1.79. That's a very specific number. Thank you, though. Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late. Don't worry. You'll have to go back and watch because we met Jen tonight from the Super Mod team. Matt Phillips says, in other news, the video about ornamental fish trade caught from the Amazon is now on YouTube. Oh, I shall have to have a look at that. Sorry, I got sidetracked, didn't I, with Noodle Sandwich. I mentioned about making you a mod and then went on to a completely different topic. Why can I not find it? Pardon me. This means we'll need to send you a shirt though if we make you a mod. It goes against my anti-Scottish of me having to spend more money on another shirt. No, you've been good and you've been here a long time. I'd be happy to have you as a moderator. Get your very own spanner. Congratulations, Noodle Sandwich. Right, we've got 33 eligible users for the t-shirt/polo giveaway. Oh, sorry, Nathaniel Vlogs. I see you suggested a word as well. Simba. Too late, we've gone with Shrek. Rob Barry with another super chat, £4.49 for a pen. I'll send over an email tonight. It was free. You didn't have to give me any money. Chow with Lau says, you're welcome. My phone only gives me random amounts to send. Don't worry about it. Every penny is appreciated. If this house move falls through, I will really need every penny that's coming in, so it's all very much appreciated. Hopefully it won't fall through, touch wood. But yeah, that's 6 or 7 grand I'll never see again if it does. Right, do we think we've got everyone that wants to win the t-shirt has written Shrek into the comments? Right, I think we're ready to roll it. Are we ready? Shall we have a drum roll? Let's see if we can... Oh, a bit loud. See if we can hear the drum roll. Alex Davison. There you go. That's a name I've not had before. Sorry, Kaylee. Sorry, Mark. I know this is usually your time to shine, but someone new has won. Yay! Alex Davison. So, Alex, all you have to do is you have to send me an email, and it has to be an email, not a Facebook message, not a Twitter or a... I keep finding messages from people like from 6 months ago going, oh yeah, I won a thing. Oh, I'm so sorry. So you have to email graham@aquariumadventures.co.uk. In fact, I think I've got a thing that I can put up to tell you that, because my name is spelt correctly, but people struggle with it. So up there, graham@aquariumadventures.co.uk. You need to tell me what you want. So colour, size, all those things we talked about earlier. What logo you want and your address, and we'll get it over to you. Courtney says the subtitles for Drumroll was Bumhole. Quite like that. Drumhole, drumhole, drumhole. I've forgotten where I was going now. Bumhole just puts me off completely. That's it. The night's ruined. So congratulations, Alex. If you get that over, like I say, address, very important. You send me your address, size, colour, logo, and we'll get that out to you. Yeah, congratulations, you joined the team. And if you do that, so let's see, how can we do this? Can we do this? Come on, Graham, you have the power, the technical knowledge. If you do that and you send me it, you can also join You can also join the Discord server, which is up here, and I'm sure some of my mods will be putting into the chat right now in case that link doesn't work. And you can join Discord, and you can send us a picture of you in your Aquarium Adventure merch. Just like... I've lost it. It's gone away. Where's it gone? Just bear with me while I aimlessly scroll up and down. Yeah, there we go. You can get... Oh, got Inception going on. I was trying to show you this. So this is our Discord server. Let me find OBS again because I can't. I need to see what you see. And you can send us a picture of you in your stuff. So if you're a moderator, you get one of these t-shirts. So we'll get one of these out to you. Noodle sandwich. So you have to let me know what you want as well. T-shirt, polo, logo, all that kind of stuff. We'll get you one of them. You can send us a lovely picture like what Tim has done with his "I'm not a serial killer, honest" expression. That was his "I'm trying to balance the phone and look at the same time." But yeah, if you've bought anything off the website, if you've got any food or any of that stuff, send us a picture of you wearing your stuff or showing off your stuff. And yeah, we'll put it up there. And then what you get is, he says, oh, what have I done? I've deleted it. There we go, sorry. No, not that one. This one. Then eventually I'll put your picture up here and everyone gets to see you wearing your stuff. So I would also wholeheartedly recommend everyone join the Discord server anyway, even if you're not buying any of my stuff, because there's lots of stuff to see in there. There's lots of good discussions about fish and fish health and all the things that this channel's actually about, and a load of nonsense as well, which is also what this channel's mostly about. So we have a good old chat on there. There's some, you can share your memes and inappropriate pictures. You can share your... Sorry, I've just seen another one. I'm going to have to show you this. So, for instance, everyone likes to abuse me and think it's hilarious. So, introducing Shrek Endlers. But yeah, there's lots of fun to be had on here and lots of chat. So, obviously, the auto subtitles program is having problems with my accent. So you have to email Graham at Aquarium Adventures. But yeah, so join us on Discord. Oh, give up. Buy my stuff. Join us on Discord. Subscribe. All that stuff. Oh dear. That made me laugh more than it should have done. Right, so, sorry, I've been wittering away there for a while now. Let me see what comments we've got up to. Right, Shrek. Yes, so congratulations, Alec. Don't forget to email. So that's the only thing that's on you, is you have to send me the email and remind me to send you some stuff. Well done, Lewis, in achieving the wrench. Fully deserved. Your free labour begins now. Quite right. There you go. There's a happy customer, hopefully. Congratulations, Alec. The polos are the business. I think you've won one of them as well, or you might have paid for it out of your own pocket. I can't remember, but congratulations. Silver Surfer says, am I the only one here who remembers when neons were £8 for £1? £8 for £1? I think you might be. I remember being upset when somebody wanted more than £1 for a neon tetra. But £8 for £1, that's a good deal, isn't it? Them were the days. I'm not missing you out on purpose, Nathaniel. It's totally random. It's not totally random because Kaylee keeps on winning. It's mostly random. Tim's definitely not a serial killer. Honest. And as Jennifer says, if you want a polo shirt and you weren't lucky enough to win one tonight, you can go and buy one. That would be really helpful. Rob Crossland's joining us a bit late. No, that's absolutely fine. Come on, be kind. Very sensitive and thin-skinned. $6 for 12 neon stretchers. Oh God, that's not good, is it? Sorry, I'm watching Discord with this eye and trying to watch the chat with this eye. It's just, this one made me tickle. I'm pretty sure Courtney's just making these up now. So, has anyone got any questions? Because I'm pooped, if I'm completely honest. I've not had my dinner yet. I've been so laid back tonight. I've not even managed to get my own merch on for my own stream. I was going to talk about several things, but I've just lost the will to live at the moment. What with all the house move shenanigans. So I need the chat to keep me going. I need you to ask me some questions, give me some stuff to talk about and answer. Otherwise, you know, I'm just flagging a little bit. I think it's because I'm an old man now, and I still think I'm a young man, but I'm an old man who was done some hard work in the last couple of days, and it's totally taken it out of me. I'm practically dying. Every bone in my body aches. Now we know why Kaylee didn't win. Kaylee didn't win because it would be too obvious. Rebecca thinks she remembers neon tetras of $150 each, but don't remember prices back 14 years ago. I remember buying, I think it was 100 cardinal tetras, and the fact that I couldn't buy 100 for less than £1 a fish blew my mind. It was like, everyone was like, "Whoa, that's wholesale prices." And I was like, "All right, I'll buy wholesale then." Not paying more than £1 a fish for cardinal tetras when I'm buying 100 of them. And I did. So, you know, I was wrong. I don't know, that's just me saying... I don't think that's that unreasonable, because certainly I see them on the price list of all the wholesale suppliers, and they're not £1 a fish there. So, you know, well, they might be now. It's been a few months since I've looked at anything. I've seen loads of things have been really problematic to get. So one of the favourite foods that I've got is my soft Artemia food, which comes from Germany. And that's been, depending on when I want to order it, it is literally doubled in price some months because they have so many problems getting it over here. My Felix arrived. Oh, we could talk about that, couldn't we? My Felix Smart arrived. It's still in the box. We could do a live unboxing. I've just been too busy to open the box, but I can't remember if I told you this or not, but I had to pay the customs fees again. And that was blamed on Brexit as well. But apparently, it already is available for release, but apparently it's very soon they're going to either have some kind of UK or Ireland distributor, or there's a trade deal, or a part of a trade deal will be agreed with Canada, because they're a Canadian company, where the import and export fees will be waived. But that's not ready yet, so I ended up having to pay £85. I don't know if I've already told you this, but I had to pay £85, despite them promising they'd be putting it down as a replacement unit, and I wouldn't be charged anything. Still got charged £85, so it was 90 odd the last time, £85 this time. I mean, I'm moaning, but I'm getting the £800 version for free, just paying the £85 of it. But still, if you're going to spend that amount of money on one of these things, that'll be the thing that kills the deal completely. Because when I was comparing it to the Apex Neptune and all the other kind of smart-enabled controllers and aquarium controllers, it's in and around the ballpark. It's not cheap. It's not hugely more expensive. But when you chuck on another £100 worth of fees to buy the bloody thing, I think that's just going to put people off. And I said that to them, and that's why they said, oh, well, we are working on reasons and ways to make it cheaper for everyone, but, you know. Oh, Big Face, am I not on Big Face? I am now. I'm just back on the... Am I on Big Face? Yes, I am. So that might be a video that's coming up soon, when I finally get around to opening that thing up. Have you ever kept keyhole cichlids? I have not kept keyhole cichlids, I'm afraid. I keep meaning to. I even set up a tank once and ordered some, and they just never came in to the fish shop that I was using. So I ended up going with, I think it was Apistogrammas at the time. But yeah, I quite like keyholes, and I would definitely try keeping them again. Chris is bowing out. Good night, Chris. Sorry, you've probably already gone now. Nathaniel vlogs. I have loads of animals. 1 grasshopper. How do you get 1 grasshopper? 16 fish, 2 frogs, 2 mice, 2 brine, 12 brine, 12 brine, 2 mice, 2 gerbils, 3 loaches, and 16 snails. Yeah, that is a lot of fish. Could I beat you? I wonder if I could. I've got 2 dogs, 1 cat, 2 geckos, about 50 snails, a few hundred fish, 2 hamsters. Is that it? I think that's it. I've probably got you beat on fish, but you know, I don't have all the different things. 2 birds, he means, sorry. How's the temporary fish room going? Asks Rob. It's going well, actually. Yeah, I mentioned it at the start of the stream. For those who missed it, I've had a couple of losses. I think I've lost one of the wild guppies, one of the mutt guppies, and a couple of bristlenose plecos, but mostly due to my own incompetence. But yeah, I've been going over every night. Everything seems okay. Humphrey's becoming a bit of a problem, if I'm completely honest. So I think last week I showed you that scarf, which is almost gone now. So this week I've got these scars. That's from cleaning his tank out. I just can't put my hands in the tank without him going for it. So I'm having to go in with 2 hands. So one with some kind of distraction device and one to siphon up the poop and stuff like that. But the amount that fish poops, it boggles my mind why he's not the size of a whale. Just, he goes through food like there's no tomorrow. Pardon me. But yeah, I just can't put my hands in the tank anymore, and it's really hard when he's in a bit of a smaller tank, because all the tanks that I've got in this temporary fish room are a bit too small for the fish that they're keeping in there, because I've tried to keep it as small and compact as possible, because hopefully it's not for long. So my main worries are water quality, because the smaller the water volume, the harder it is to keep the water quality right. And just after you move a fish somewhere, or just after you set up a tank, even if you're using established filters and all that kind of stuff, just after you do those things, that's the danger zone, in my opinion, because that's when things are going to go wrong quickly. So I wanted to spend as much time as possible there. It's taken it out of me, because I'm doing back and forth, and it's half an hour each way. That's not that much, obviously, but still, that's an hour just in travelling, and then if I spend an hour there farting about with stuff, that's 2 hours a day that I'm not doing any of the other things. And at the same time, still trying to pack up this house and break down the fish room and clean out the blah, 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 blah. So it's going well, but it's a bit of a pain already. Once your new fish room set up, what will be your first project? Oh, do you mean in the fish room? So, that's a good question. I've been kind of mulling that around. I don't know, if I'm completely honest. So I've got a few things that I want to do. So I want to do some discus breeding projects. I want to do some other interesting... I want to get puffers again. So I want to get some puffer tanks going. I'd like to breed them as well, if I could. I want to get a few more special fish, like Humphrey. He's my... I should explain for people who have no idea what I'm talking about. He's my... What is he? Come on, Graham. You can do it. Flowerhorn. He's my 2-tone camphor flowerhorn. I just love all the personality. As much as I don't love the getting beaten up by a fish, I love that he's nice. I just read something else there which made me laugh. It's totally throwing me off, but I love that he's really interactive, and I like that side of things. So I'm kind of swaying a little bit towards big American cichlids. But I really want to do an African cichlid tank. I really want to do puffers. I want to do more South American cichlids. I want to do more discus. I want to do more small fish. So I really love my guppies and my endlers and all that kind of stuff. But luckily I'm going to have a space where I can probably do all those things. But which one's going to be first, I don't know. I really need to get in there to start to visualize it, because I've got ideas for having racks of tanks going all around the room. But then today I was just thinking, what if I just had a central rack, like two wide, that I could walk around all the time. I kind of want to have a workshop section where I can set up a tank and do some aquascaping and try out things, and just like kind of a space to work, because I've never had that before either. But it'll probably be lots of DIY stuff at the start of, setting up my water change systems, and how am I going to build the drainage, and how am I going to get the power delivery right, all that sort of stuff. And then I really want to get going with the pond as well, because I want to hire a digger. For more than anything else, that's kind of why I want to do the pond. So yeah, loads of ideas, and the answer is I really don't know which one I'm going to do first. Maybe I should open that up to a poll. What would you like to see in my new fish room? I kind of answered that question at the same time there, Courtney. Yeah, I don't know what I'm more excited about getting. I really want to get puffers again. I guess that's the one that I'm most excited about. So yeah, maybe that. How long does beneficial bacteria stay on surfaces and in my filter? Pardon me. I'm moving Wednesday and reforming the fish and rehoming the fish, I guess, until I can get my tank running in the new house. This may be a couple of weeks. So beneficial bacteria, it will live in your filter for quite a while, actually. And there's this myth that as soon as power goes out, for instance, your filter immediately dies. That's not really true. Anecdotally, I've heard people tell me that they've had their filter media have kept for weeks, and even dry, or just damp rather, been out of the tank, but just damp. Their bacteria has been fine for weeks. That may be true under very specific circumstances, but if you can keep your... So whenever I have a power outage, for instance, I like to run a battery air stone underneath my bags of filters. Oh, there's a long story here. So when I put filter media anywhere, whether it's a sump or in a canister filter or a hang-on back filter or whatever it is, I like to put it in a filter media bag. And then if there's a power outage, I like to run one of those long, thin air stones and then pile all my filter media on top of it, and then the air goes through the filter media, sometimes around the filter media, but that's fine. But that movement of the air is kind of like a sponge filter, how that works. It drags the water up behind it as the bubbles, the pressure differences and the bubbles rising, drags a bit of water up, and it keeps the water moving through your filter media. So it's like a very inefficient sponge filter, but that will last weeks and weeks and weeks. So if you can get some kind of situation like that going, if you can't, bucket, air stone, throw in fish food, you'll probably be fine. The results may vary, and don't quote me on all this, but you'll probably be fine. Definitely a couple of weeks, that shouldn't be a problem. Pardon me. Chow with Lao has a bare bottom tank. Moderately stocked, always has high nitrates. Does substrate help keep nitrates lower by trapping organic material, or does it not make a difference? It will make a difference if your substrate is sufficiently thick. And by sufficiently thick, I'm talking a few inches. Because then you can get that anaerobic bacteria cultivating, because they prefer low oxygen environments. But by far a more efficient way to do that is adding lots of plants, or adding nitrate hungry plants. So floating plants are really good. The devil of duckweed, but if not duckweed, the larger floating plants that don't get quite so horrible. Pothos, if you want to have things growing out of your tank, or even the lucky bamboo stuff that you get from places like IKEA and all that. That's really good at sucking up nitrates. So they're much easier usually and more efficient than relying on your substrate to do that job for you. What was the air pump you reviewed? Nicrew, was it the quietest pump you have come across? It was an iCrew air pump, and I heartily recommend it. It was a fantastic pump. I was very pleased with it. Still am very pleased with it. I have been using it in the temporary fish room. It's not the quietest one I've ever come across, but it's way more powerful than the quietest ones I've ever come across, and it's still quiet. So I would let's see if I can show you what I normally use. Not normally, but I want to say hi Dom, but I can't remember if that's the... Yeah, this kind of thing. So I normally use, or I have lots of these kind of air pumps, the high doms, and they're very much and you can get them quiet, but you have to like wrap them in towels and do all that kind of stuff. Perfectly suitably powerful and all that kind of stuff, but the Nicrew one that I got blows these away in terms of power. So even the rating on these 4 litres per minute, they're better rated, and they perform above their rating, and they're very, very, very quiet in comparison to these. The quietest ones are those, is it plesiastic? Oh, come on, I'm going to struggle to remember what the word is. Plesiastic. No, it's not that word. Come on, Graham, we can do this. Physiostatic? There's no L there. Why have I put an L in it? Alright, I don't know what it is. So, a word that sounds like that, they're very quiet, and that's things like the interpret, was it? This thing. There's a name for this, and I just can't remember what it is. Piezostatic or something like that. Anyway, these little things here they're the quietest ones I've ever used. This is the interpret one, but there's plenty of other ones. They're just, it's one tank max. You're not splitting an airline off that. It's going to barely run one tank for you, and that's it. Whereas the high dom ones will run a couple of tanks, 3 tanks fairly easily. They're just a bit more noisy. Whereas this thing, this is the one. Absolutely fantastic. Really powerful. Battery lasts a long time. Can be run plug-in and as a battery backup. So it can be your main pump, which will keep going when there's a power failure, which I think is one of the key features. Doesn't run out. And you don't have to be there for the power outage to go and swap your air pump over. Really happy with this. It's great. Can't say enough good things about it. How deep do people have the substrate? I guess it's different for most people. You'll see, or you'll hear lots of older people talking about the lasagna effect of the substrate, and they like to keep like 4, 5, 6 inches worth of substrate. I've never done it, so I'm not saying it's wrong. I've never done it. I've always gone with a couple of inches. Quite often I'll have, so in my main discus tank, for instance, I've just got sand which is barely half an inch around most of the tank, but in the centre bit where I've planted it, that is probably 3 inches worth of aquatic substrate in there for all the plants. But that's more just to give it height rather than trying to have a deep substrate, if that makes sense. Back to Big Face. Yes, as Simon says, chow with Lau, you need live plants. Plants? Do you have a shop? I have a website where I sell some things. It's a bit sparse at the moment because of the house moving stuff. But yeah, I'll sell you some stuff. So Michael does have some live plants. Helodia, water lettuce, hornwort and Anubias. So some of them are fantastic nitrate sponges. So if you've still got nitrate issues, I'm at a loss because you won't get better than hornwort and water lettuce for sucking up nitrates, really. Or in my experience, they've been really good for me, shall I say. So other than more of them, up in your water changes, I don't think your substrate's going to have that much of an effect. It will, but you would need to be running some kind of nitrate reactor or something like that, where you get maybe a canister filter, limit the flow really low, so it's low and slow flow, fill it full of some ultra porous material, whether it's biohome or matrix or something like that, and just trickle the water through that, so as you're creating that dark, oxygen deficient environment, that's going to be much more powerful than a deep, thick substrate. Right, let's see if we can get down to them, because I've just realised it's almost 11 o'clock. We'll be crashing in. We'll be keeping people like Scott busy, and he won't be able to get to his new job where he moonlights for another person. Question from Vince. Are you prepped up in case you ever get a power cut? We had a smart meter fitted this week, so the power was off. Dawn used 8 battery air pumps and it was all was well with no casualties. Yes, so I've got some advice here. I am prepped up in as much as I have several battery backups. I have several battery air pumps. I have that Nicrew air pump that I was talking about. The known about power cut is much easier to manage than the middle of the night power cut. So that's why I was saying the Nicrew air pump, for instance, if you use that as your normal air pump, if you lose power, it just switches to battery and keeps going, whereas the battery backup air pumps, you have to go and get them. And not only do you have to go and get them, you have to know your power's out in the first place. So if it's the middle of the night and you're asleep, the power cut's got a 6-hour head start on you. And then you wake up and when you realise, you go, where did I put that? Was it in that cupboard? And then you spend 2 hours looking for the bloody thing. I know in this house there's at least 4 battery air pumps. I've been able to find 2 of them. I have no idea where the other 2 are. They're in here somewhere. Not in this room. Well, they might be in this room actually. Anyway, they're in the house somewhere, but I've just not been able to find them, and that's days that I've been looking for them. So things like a generator is probably overkill for most people, but UPS batteries, that kind of stuff, battery air pumps, especially the rechargeable ones, the USB ones that can be run off a power bank, they're really good. The Nicrew one, I'm not sponsored by Nicrew. I think it's just almost the perfect product. I mean, it's not the cheapest one in the world, but because it does those jobs and it does them well, just having an air pump will buy you so much more time in an emergency for you to then sort out what you do properly. I just think it's worth every penny of the investment. Am I doing a King of Y DIY fish gallery? Oh yeah, maybe. I might do the budget off-brand version of it. Right. I've moved house with damp filter media and I kept fishies but not temperature dependent. After the setup is sorted, I then reduced feeding for a few weeks. Yeah, that's a good and important point. Is if you are worried about filter media and its efficiency, just build up slowly and make sure you monitor everything. What's your favourite sea creature and your favourite land creature? That's not how you spell creature. My favourite sea creature is the kraken, and my favourite land creature is the tiger. I'm aware that the kraken's not real. Or is it? Check out Ponguru's latest video on a power bank. The thing is a beast, but it looks the business and could run your house for a while. Yeah, I've been looking into, I think they're called jackeries. And yeah, it's like almost like basically a generator, but you just don't have to run it like a generator with petrol and all that kind of stuff. Right, I think I'm trying to get to the bottom. Yes, Maple Street Aquatics has just started streaming. So if you fancy some more fishy content, some actual fishy content, rather than random ramblings about random things, by all means head over to that. You can see Scott there doing his moderator job. And last question from Noodle Sandwich. Anyone used an under gravel heater to heat a tank? I've not used an under gravel heater, but I've used reptile heat mats with great success. Great success. So we'll talk about them in the next week's live stream, or will we if I've actually moved house? We'll see. But as always, thank you for joining me, everyone. Sorry to leave you in such a discombobulated fashion, but it's been emotional. It's been fun. I've enjoyed having you all here, and hopefully you can join me next week. And if you're watching this for the first time, remember there's a subscribe button. That'd be really helpful. And we'll see you when we see you. If we don't see you through the week, we'll see you through the windy. Cheery bye.